So, boys, we just got a locator shot outside, and we're on to you guys after that. Okay, 5 seconds to air, about 20 to your microphones. Up on you guys in about 20 seconds. Here we go. Up on you guys in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Locator shot. To you, boys. Go ahead.
Hello, lacrosse friends. Welcome to the Iroquois Lacrosse Arena for Game 2 of what in Game 1 was a thrilling Major Series Lacrosse Championship Series, a 12-11 double overtime win for the Peterborough Lakers over the Six Nations Chiefs. You know the Chiefs, who led 10-6, are looking to come back and turn things around. I'm Stephen Stamp with Pat Gregoire. We will be bringing you the game tonight. And Patty, but it's intense.
Oh, absolutely. That we had on Sunday. Every one of these fans are going to get the price of admission because it was unbelievable. The goaltending was phenomenal. Defense was outstanding. A very rough and tough game. And let's not forget the offense was a shooting gallery at some points.
The turns to watch. These are guys who were huge. I'll tell you, you see the 12-11, but the key was when it was 10-6 in the third period, and Six Nations had a 4-on-3 that became a 5-on-3. Stephen Hoare, Scott Self, and Robert Hope killed that penalty without giving up a goal. They spent almost the whole time out there. One of the best penalty kills I've ever seen, and the turning point, both coaches agreed that was the point in the game that changed it.
Oh, absolutely. It was huge. I mean, the rotation was so good, and we both had a chance to talk to Stephen Hoare there, and the way he described it was controlled chaos, because that's what it was. But they were just blocking shots, picking passes off. It was really, was that turning point, though.
Especially when you consider that that's usually thought of as almost an automatic goal with players at this level. Our players to watch tonight for Peterborough: Adam Jones, 6 goals, including their goal in the first overtime and the game winner. He was shooting peas.
Oh, absolutely. It just seemed like when there was a night that Peterborough couldn't solve, Dylan Ward at all, he could. He was just shooting the lights out.
At the other end of the floor, a lefty, but not one who was even with them for the season, Austin Scott. He's wearing number 18 because he's 18 years old. No, I'm just kidding. But he is wearing 18, and he is 18 years old, and he was firing the other night, just hitting spots. He scored 4 goals and was absolutely excellent. We always knew Austin Scott was super talented. Everyone's been tracking him for a few years. Little brother of Randy Scott, who was also a prodigy. But Austin Scott's playing with men, you just didn't know he can do it.
Oh, absolutely. It was unbelievable how confident he was. We'll actually go to the goaltenders now. Matt Vince, he didn't start the other night. It was Evan Kirk, but I mean, when you have those two good of goalies, it doesn't matter.
They've gone through a rotation system the entire season, and they're sticking with it. There's Dylan Ward. He is the man. Although if they have to go to Warren Hill, their backup, he's excellent.
Yeah.
He's a rookie, so do you want to be in an MSL Finals with a rookie? Maybe not, but Warren Hill's a good one. But Dylan Ward's been great. As you said, they managed to solve him just enough on Sunday night. For the Lakers, I actually thought when they got to Game 6 in Oakville, and Evan Kirk was 3-0 in that series, and Matt Vince was 0-2, at that point, do you go with the hot hand? But they went with Vince, and he was outstanding. We're going to have to take a quick break. We'll be back with Game 2 of the MSL Finals right after this. Perfect. Cross friends, I'm Stephen Stamp with Pat Gregoire. Welcome to Game 2 of the MSL of Canadian Pit Stop Peterborough, making it possible for us to stream this game. We are very excited to have them on board as a sponsor. We give them lots of thanks, and we're very excited to be bringing you this game with Peterborough having the first possession. Holden Catoni with the ball. He's going to let one go as the shot clock winds down. It's missed. Just drop it into the first possession. Peterborough, but some nice confidence for Six Nations.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we saw a lot of this in game one, where for the first 10 minutes, a lot of the offensive sets really weren't that set up because how well and how high tempo the defense was.
These are such good defenses. There's a ton of players. There's Ryan Benesh, who got a big goal the other night, and he's going to be stopped by Matt Vince. Dylan Evans picks it up, tosses it over, and Nick Weiss has to track it down. Weiss running up the floor. Welcome to everyone watching the game from around the world. Probably the majority from Peterborough, I would think, given the solid fan base the Lakers have. So welcome to you guys. Hope you're enjoying the show. And once again, thanks to Canadian Tire Pit Stop Peterborough. We have a moving pick on Joel Matthews, who taking the old Matt Giles approach of just set picks until you find out where the line is that they'll call.
Got to test the refs early, and that's what both these teams have done so far.
The referees are Mark Gardonio and Chris Williams. Brody Merrill comes out to play offense, and Sid Smith has stayed out. The Arrows are very short on offense, and Merrill got one just past Vince, but there wasn't really any room for it to go in. It hit the post and falls down. Brody Merrill has stepped up now. Cody Jamieson and Jordan Durston both out, both almost surely for the season. And they've had to be plugging some guys in. Briar Jonathan played the last couple of games for them up front. He is a defender. Stainhouse trying to get away from McNamara. And there's a big whack by Billy D. Smith on his brother-in-law, Mark Stainhouse. You would not know they are so close by the way they play each other. There's a shot by Josh Courier, who's been a little quiet the last couple of games. Katoni gets a rebound, throws it back out top to Vitarelli, and they'll start again. We're going to have a moving pick call, and then Chad Culp runs into Billy D. Smith. They'll have some words, and this one's ramping up early.
Oh, yeah, and that's how it started last game, too. A lot of off-ball hacking and whacking, and the refs seem to let them play, and I think that's going to be the same thing tonight.
There's a shot, doesn't get through. Vince grabs it off the back boards, and I'm going to take 1 second to just warn my partner in crime here, Patty Gregoire, that your back right leg of your chair is about hanging over the hole. There is a hole in the booth up here that I have seen some people fall into, and I have fallen into it myself. So nobody wants
Thanks
that.
for the heads up.
You bet. There's Joel Matthews with the ball. He passes it across low to Katoni. He can't scoop it up. It's grabbed by Leo Sturos. Sturos, one of three. Oh, that ball is going to go back in the crease. Sturos waits for it to come out, but Culp's all over him. Smart play by the rookie. But eventually it's Dan Coates, a veteran leader, who gets the ball. And it's going to be Peterborough possession after Paul Dawson knocked down Chad Culp.
It's a great shift by Culp there.
Oh.
As expected, though. He does that every single night he's on the floor.
He's one of those guys, he's not necessarily going to show up on the scoreboard, but he is a grinder.
Oh, yeah.
Corey Vitarelli trying to work through a check from Coates. There's a shot from Evans, goes a little bit wide. And back out. They've got 8 seconds to shoot as Katoni, a nice little misdirection pass. Vitarelli with Coates on him, and some help from David Brock. Gets a shot off, but Ward smothers that one.
Really like what both defense are doing so far, really applying pressure. As we saw later on in the game, in game one, a lot more outside shots were starting to sink, so these guys are making sure they take away those outside looks because you have so many sharp shooters on both teams.
Randy Stotts is in the game, gets it back to point. Stotts is playing his first playoff game of the season. He's had some injury issues, a lower body issue, but great for them to see him back out. There you see Briar Jonathan, who almost won the game on Sunday. He took a shot that I actually credited in my column on IL Indoor to Ryan Benesh. I will correct that, but Jonathan with the shot from the outside that went post, crossbar, post, and ringing out late in the overtime.
Oh, it was unbelievable. When we saw the replay on Kojiko's broadcast, it looked like it almost went in.
Yeah. And it's going to be, is this a penalty or I believe Mike McNamara has drawn a penalty. The box is open. It's Billy D. Smith. Looks like he's heading for the box. So Billy D., no stranger to the penalty box, but you're going to accept some of those penalties because his aggression and physicality is such a tone setter for that team. It makes it so. I had one coach say that they've actually seen guys in the NLL get the ball, start to run in, see that it's Billy D. Smith, and just turn around and pass it away.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's the type of guy that when he slashes you, you can just look at the player's face on the floor, and it kills him. He is such a heavy hack and whack, and you're right. You'll take those 2 minutes, especially with how good the penalty.
And sometimes 5 or 10 or
very true as well.
He's one of those guys. He gets a little hot-headed on the floor. Nicest guy you could meet off the floor, like so many aggressive players. Jones on the power play shoots right into the belly pad of his Colorado teammate, Dylan Ward. Now he's harassing Ward, but he gets the pass off. Marshall under some pressure from Evans. That pass is thrown away, and Nick Weiss is going to get there first. Nice effort, though. I think that's Dan Coates that was there now. Dane Smith is battling. Everyone going after the ball, and eventually the Lakers come up with it. A nice little play by Bryce Sweeting, who's been steady as a rock as a rookie this year for the Lakers.
Yeah, he really has. One thing I did like from both teams in game one, when they were shorthanded, ragging the ball, both had a stretch, especially Peterborough, where they could, you just couldn't get the ball off.
Yeah.
They chewed up so much time. On that penalty
Evans
kill.
shoots. Oh, it's off of the post, it looks like. And then Ward gets the stop. Picked up by Mike McNamara. And, you've got some great raggers. Mark Stainhouse with his quick feet.
Oh, yeah.
And the hand control. Stephen Keel with the stick
he's
that's got about an
unbelievable.
8-inch deep bag on it. And you can't get the ball out of that stick without knocking it out of his hands. Dane Smith driving down. He's playing up front some tonight. He has been playing largely out the back door for them in the playoffs. And he's so effective there. He is so fast. As Rich Kilgore says, he runs like a deer. We have a 6-on-5 here. Oh, sorry, they brought the goalie out just to try and kill the last 30. They're into the last 30 of the penalty, so they do go 5-on-5, of course. Point is staying up above the restraining line, because if he goes in, then the 30 starts. Usually you'll see that player actually go in once they get to 30 seconds. Brad Self shooting at the empty net and scores. It backfires on the Chiefs as they lost the ball near the restraining line. You wonder about that strategy sometimes.
That's the risk you take when you pull your goalie out to get that extra man, and they unfortunately didn't get quick enough to the bench to get Dylan Ward out there. And you know what? The way that this series is going to go, and it's going to be so close, you hopefully, for Six Nations' sake, that's not going to happen. But
here we're going to see it. You can see the battle here, and Benesh is checked, and somebody has to get to the bench a little earlier. We saw Dane Smith hanging off. Probably Craig Point, the extra man, should have been going. As soon as there's pressure near the restraining line, you got to get your goalie out.
Yeah, absolutely. As soon as you know that there might be a chance that player, even though it's Benesh who's really great at holding on to the ball, you got to start pulling because look what just happened.
Because these defenses are both so good that they can strip the ball. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Evans with the ball. Juke and jive. He's going to let it rip. Save by either Ward or the post. I think it was his foot. But Evans almost found a spot. He had 5 points the other night. There's a big moving pick by Joel Matthews, who, even though he established the line earlier, just crossed it. Brody Merrill running into the offensive zone. He's going to stay and play some offense. Again, Jamison and Durston both out. So that's why Austin Stotts is here. But boy, he's making a name for himself. And now we've got a moving pick on Six Nations. And we'll go the other way. The Lakers are going to push the pace. At least Dylan Evans wanted to. Now they'll slow it down a bit.
I actually like the way that the Lakers played in the third period. They seemed to force the issue a little more in that third period. And that's when they really started to play well.
Well, I mean, Six Nations clearly won the first 45 minutes of that game. They're up 10-6. And we talked about, there's a shot by Jones, but a nice job by Brock to get stick on stick. And a diving effort by Billy D. Smith. Didn't realize that David Brock was there, so good, smart play to get over there. Dane Smith will pass it over to Briar Jonathan, again, who almost had a huge goal the other night. He's picked up by Jake Withers. Point over on the far side to Dan Dawson. Dane Smith cuts. It's a bit of a bump from Brad Self. Dawson with 10 on the shot clock, maneuvering his way around. Now a couple of Chiefs going to the bench to get some defenders out. Benesh right into the belly pad, the low belly pad of Matt Vince.
That's the thing you talk about Dane Smith, how big, fast, strong he is. One of my favorite parts about his game is how well he plays without the ball in the other end. I mean, he sets those big bump picks, and he sends guys absolutely flying because he's so big.
Stainhouse with a shot into the stick of Dylan Ward. Ward looking up the floor, nothing there. So Paul Dawson will take the outlet pass and just hand it off to Austin Stotts, who, again, just 18 years old, is looking awfully comfortable in this league already. If you were wondering, is he going in the draft this year? There have been rumors, as his brother Randy picks it up. No, he is not. He has started at Onondaga Community College. I believe Friday he was down there for the day or so. I think last week he had to be down for a couple days. But he is able to get here because it's so close.
Yes.
That shot off the post or not? No, there's no reset called, so just 8 left on the shot clock. And they're going to get a shot from Stotts, but it misses. and hits the rafters. It'll be Peterborough ball.
Yeah, something tells me the OCC Syracuse connection might be in the future for Austin.
Yes,
I mean,
Randy Stotts did that the 2 years at OCC, where the Lasers win the Community College Championship every year.
Except for this year. I can't believe they almost broke the record for most consecutive games won by a team in any junior college sport.
Culp thought about a shot. Now Josh Courier rips one that comes straight back to him. There was a reset. It did touch Ward, and he'll get it back. Josh Courier will be a high pick in this year's draft.
Oh, yeah.
Passes it to Holden Katoni. I expect them both to go in the top 6 at this point. Penalty coming to Six Nations. Mike McNamara a little over aggressive. Now Matthews getting into his face. McNamara doesn't like it. They're banging around. They are rivals with Rochester and New England. Jones passes across, backdoor by Courier, just misses. He is excellent at that, but missed that one by a couple of feet, and the Lakers will go to the power play.
Yeah, the Courier actually the other night had a very similar play, and he just missed a wide open cage by maybe a foot. And, like you said, he has been quiet the last little while, but he's such a skilled, fast player that, he, just within a split second, he can create a play because how quick and athletic he is.
Yeah, it's the feet. They're
That's
so
exactly
quick, right?
is.
He just gets himself in positions, and he has great hands.
Oh, yeah.
I think what has happened this year, because last year he was a rookie, and he was a little tentative, and I think this year he's just much more comfortable. And his younger brother, Zach, who's a transition player for the Lakers, number 77, went through the same process, but all in this year, and he has become an absolute stud already.
Oh, yeah.
Here's Mark Stainhouse with the ball. Jones up at the top. Shot by Jones goes wide. Ward corrals it off the backboards. If you're wondering where John Grant Jr. is tonight, he is in Denver for the opening days of Valor Christian High, where he's a coach. Here comes Dan Dawson, passes it off, and the pass back up top. Six Nations going to see what they can kill here. Brody Merrill passes it over to Stotts and gets it back immediately. The Lakers a little confusion about who they want out on the floor. Now they've got their 5 guys, Tutton and Brad Self, double teaming in the corner, and they get it knocked loose away from Randy Stotts, but Stotts fighting to get it. Brad Self gets it back. He is the goal scorer in this 1-0 game, brought to you by Canadian Tire Pit Stop Peterborough, our game sponsor this evening. Thank you so much for making this possible. If you would like to see more games in this series, get in touch. You can direct tweet Major Series Lacrosse. You can direct tweet me, Steven Stamp, at StampLax. You can tweet Patty Gregoire if you like. He'll just pass it on
absolutely.
to me. At P. Greggy, whatever. Email me, stamplax@hotmail.com. There's Stainhouse in the slot, just misses, goes over to Evans and runs out of time. He's going to be right on Brody Merrill. They blow. Mark Ardonio whistles to give him a bit of room, and Sean Evans gives him about 1.5 feet.
Gardonio and Evans had a couple conversations, let's call it,
Yes.
last game. So something tells me he'll be watching Evans pretty tightly today.
You know what? I am a huge Sean Evans fan. I think he's a great player, so passionate and so intense. But referees around the league were horrified when he got an alternate captain's A for this team because it meant he could legally talk to them. Now we have a penalty coming to Peterborough. Might be Bryce Sweeting that Chris Williams is calling over. So 17 seconds left in the Six Nations penalty, which means that we'll have 4-on-4 for those 17 seconds, and then Six Nations will have a chance on the power play to even things up if nothing happens in that time.
It's too bad we only have 17 seconds of 4-on-4. We saw a lot of it the other night, and
fun.
boy, was it fun.
Yeah, so fast.
2-man game on both sides, so quick, so fast. I enjoyed myself.
There goes Ward to the bench, and Dan Dawson comes out. They will go 5-on-4. But they'll be very careful about it.
Yeah.
This is basically so that the player, Mike McNamara, in the penalty box can just step into the bench and the goalie can go back, and you get the full 13 seconds that are left on the shot clock rather than having to change it up then. There's a toe drag by Benesh, and the shot, shoulder save by Vince. Not a high-quality chance because they just had to get a shot at the buzzer, but Benesh actually made it a pretty good chance. And then Brad Self ices the ball. Nick Weiss is going after Ward. Gives him a little bump, doesn't run him over, and now he's got to get back as it's a 4-on-3 for Six Nations. There's a shot by Point. Vince stops that, and boy, Craig Point is one of the hardest shooters around. Dane Smith shoots. That one's blocked. The Lakers block a ton of shots, and that might have been Nick Weiss on that one. There's a shot by Stotts trying to just tippy-toe around the defender, Ian Lord. Gets back to the Chiefs. They've got a fresh 30. Point over Benesh. Back to Benesh. Behind the back down. Stotts whips it around the back, but it's down around Dane Smith's ankle. And Stephen Hoare comes up with the ball. Austin Stotts with the hard forecheck. And Dan Dawson gets the ball back. Stotts directing traffic. How is this kid 18? There's a goal by Dane Smith. Great movement. And Austin Stotts won't get an assist, but he caused the turnover and pointed Dan Dawson, who is the king of pointing, where to go with the ball.
Yeah, it's absolutely unbelievable. Yeah. He tries to, the behind the back pass doesn't work, but what does he do? Work his butt off to cause the turnover, and then, like you said, he's directing traffic. Next thing you know, boom. So we'll see it here with the hard play. And Dawson picks up the loose ball, and he's going to just fire it over, quick backdoor pass right to Dane Smith, and Dane Smith's not going to make any mistakes there.
No,
I can't believe this kid's 18 years old.
I know. Somebody on the Lakers bus, we traveled down on the Lakers bus today. I'm from Peterborough, so it's handy to come along, and you hopped on in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Somebody on the bus asked me where I would have Austin Stotts in my mock draft on ilindoor.com if he was in this draft, and I was like, pretty high after the other night. Top 1 or 2. I mean,
there's no doubt.
Awfully good.
He's
18.
He's so confident.
Oh, big hit by Chad Tutton. He loves to throw him, and Dawson was already on a bit of a tilt. He was the leaning tower of Pisa, and Tutton just made him topple. Brad Self's going to shoot right in the belly, the middle of the Chiefs' C on Dylan Ward's chest. And I'll tell you, Brad Self, good shot selection, but he'd like that one back.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and you know what? When you're taking a shot on a big goalie like Dylan Ward, it's so overwhelming because you have nowhere to shoot.
Stotts looking for the pass from Benesh. Instead, Benesh goes near side post, and that is his favorite shot. And that tells you how good he is at convincing goalies he's shooting somewhere else, because he shoots there all the time and still finds a hole. You'd think they'd just be glued to the post.
Oh, yeah, I know, but it's every time it seems, it doesn't matter where he's playing here in the NLL with the Bandits. You'll see here, he's going to get the ball, just take it down low to the crease, and just waits. And just that little head hesitation just opens up the smallest of gaps, and he puts it home no problem.
A little bit of a pass fake here.
Yeah. Oh,
and the funny thing is, there's nobody there to pass to, but Vince doesn't know that. There's a shot. That one, that's in. No, Williams saying it's not. Dylan Evans convinced it was. I thought that ball may have gone in the net.
Really close. We'll definitely have to take another look
So far, I got to say, our replays have been great. Director Alex Frazzo getting the strip by Austin Stotts on the previous goal was a beauty, the first one.
Guy's a pro. What can I say? The guy's a pro.
I wouldn't go that far. No, he is. He's great. Dan Dawson takes the low pass. It skips away from him. And Ian Lord can't pick it up. Dawson, his teammate in Rochester, gets it back. And there's their teammate, Matt Vince, with a save.
A lot of teammates here on the
Rochester players in this game. 7 for each team
and it just
are on the rosters.
It just shows you how good of an organization they have in Rochester.
Stainhouse evades a check, rips it, saved by Ward, having to reach down. And makes that save look pretty easy. It was not.
No, that's the thing that I really like about Ward is it seems like almost every single save he makes, he's not even trying.
Yeah. But you can tell when they have to reach down with that offhand and get it that you've got to be aware of where the shot's going.
Yeah,
heavy forecheck pressure by Matthews. Go ahead.
He's got that long reach, which makes it look so easy, right?
Stephen Hoare covering Stotts, who steps away from him, shoots into the belly pad. Penalty coming to Hoare. It's a slash called by Mark Cardonio. I didn't actually see a slash, really. Here's the shot. Now, where's the ball? If we can back it up a little bit. Where does it go?
Tough to see here. And it looks like he gets it into his stick.
Is that it right there? In the stick. Because if it was in the stick there, that was actually in the net. But if it was up higher in the stick, it was not in the net. We can't see, and I'll tell you, the refs were in perfect position to make the call. So we will trust their call on that one. But we, of course, get the advantage of the replays. So.
Yeah, exactly. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. Ward scoops that one up with 12 seconds left on the shot clock, and Dawson will run it ahead. 1:37 on the penalty. Behind the back to Dane Smith. Rips it, scores. Near side, just fires it by. And boy, it's hard not to give Dane Smith space on the power play, but you have to get on him.
Oh, absolutely. You got to get to hands, and especially he's the player that when he sinks one in early, his confidence gets going, and then he becomes a volume shooter. And you'll see here, pass comes out, and there's a little pick there. Crease defender there has to get out earlier because that top shooter on the penalty kill got sealed there. There's got to be a rotation. And the other night, those rotations were there.
Great shot of Evans and Thompson facing off, and Evans eventually gets the win as it's picked up by Lord. Robert Hope, who is, I think, one of the best defenders in lacrosse, was the one a bit late getting out, but the thing is he went out with some guarded caution because everyone knows if you run at Dane Smith, he'll just jab step around you.
Oh, yeah,
and
that's his go-to move.
If your
right
momentum's
there.
going away, forget about it. That pass goes straight to Thompson. Evans trying to get it to Josh Courier. Thompson will slow things down. Now he's going to go ahead with Brock sending a seal for him, and now he stops again. He's going to stay and play some offense. Briar Jonathan gets past Josh Courier, who as a defender makes a very good offensive player. Sean Evans, not to take a jab at Josh, but he's definitely an offensive guy. There's a penalty coming now to Six Nations. Probably too many men. Evans will shoot, saved by Ward. Yeah, it's too many as they rush back. And I'll tell you, both these teams like to take advantage. Peterborough definitely pushes the pace more. Rich Kilgore has said, the head coach of Six Nations, you know, we're really more of an offense and defense team, but they like to get some transition, which is why Dane Smith was playing at the back door. But Peterborough forces them into a penalty there.
And you have also, too, these two teams are adjusting. In here, it's the more, traditional benches on the same side, whereas when you're in Peterborough, it's the old school where it's, one's on the other side. And you could tell both teams were definitely, had to change their breakout systems, whereas tonight it's just the two on the same side. So that also changes the dynamic of us as well.
And it's funny, I'll tell you, for the guys who grew up in Peterborough, I mean, obviously they go and play elsewhere and get used to it, but, I mean, I grew up in Peterborough. I watched lacrosse and hockey in the Memorial Center, and it never occurred to me it was strange to have the benches across the floor from each other. So it is an adjustment when you get into that new situation. There's Evans with the ball back to Stainhouse, trying to create some space. Vitarelli's behind the net. Now he's going to come out as Jones hangs onto the ball. Shoots, save, again right to the 5-hole, right into that big wooden stick.
And I think the other night, Ward had a phenomenal game, but there was a couple of times where the Lakers shooters did beat him 5-0, and I think that's where they're trying to shoot him tonight. But
what a fake by Dane Smith. Robert Hope kind of hopped, and I think Hope would have soaked that one because he and, I'll tell you, Ian Lord blocked more shots than any defenders I think I've ever seen, except probably Rory Smith. Double team pressure now on Dane Smith. He passes it off. Banesh has it. They try and double him. The pass away. Oh, and the Lakers don't like that one because it didn't take too much for Brad Self to knock Brody Merrill over. Merrill was off balance, but he felt a good thing coming, I think, and allowed the momentum to carry him down.
I think so.
A veteran play. That ball is loose. Banesh, great job to try and pull it back in, but it's just tapped away by Hope, and he'll run up the floor. The Lakers have 48 left on the power play. Sean Evans carrying the ball. Stainhouse running along beside him. Merrill's back playing defense after a shift up in the other end. See if they try and get him moving around if he's a little tired. Stainhouse fakes the shot. He's looking to Evans. Gets it to him now with 5 on the shot clock. He's going to pass it to Vitarelli. Oh, a little pass to Catoni, and sometime they've got to shoot. That was a bit late, and the Chiefs don't like it, but it wasn't much.
No, I don't think they have a cause there.
No, if I was them, I'd be upset too, but I don't know he could have stopped that one. They're going to get the ball here as Evans on the forecheck. Evans and Lord knock over Stotts, and I agree with that one too, that they had a call there.
Very good rotation by the Chiefs. Penalty kill there to collapse in the middle there as well and get that second slide there from the crease.
We're back to even strength with a minute and a half left here in the first period. Penalty coming now to the Lakers.
And that
bit of a pileup as Briar Jonathan will come in and protect his teammate.
There might be another call on Jonathan for that second shot there.
We'll see if they take them both. If not, it'll be a penalty or a power play for Six Nations. It looks like Dan Dawson's talking to Chris Williams. I think Jonathan may be getting the matching gap. It looks like he is because they don't seem very happy. So take another look at it and you'll see there's Stotts going to the net. A little grab and a push. And
it's
right there.
there.
Okay.
And then you see
yeah,
the
you know what? It's the exact
gotta,
same.
Yeah. No, you got to take both.
Probably going to be called illegal cross checks. Let's listen in.
He's got 2 for a slash. He's got 2 for a rough.
Okay. I'm going to call them both illegal cross check, so you don't have to give the 4-minute check from behind. But either way, a slash to Scott Self, a rough to Briar Jonathan, and I thought when we were watching the replay, we started early and we saw the first check. I thought, that was that penalty, and then you see it like, oh yeah, that's one.
Yeah, it clears them right on the back on the numbers there. They're going to have to call it, but like you said, they don't call it. A hit checking from behind, so it's not the 4 minutes, just 2 aside, and we got our wish.
I was going to say, look how happy you are. You're just Patty Gregoire grinning from ear to ear because we got some 4-on-4.
It was so entertaining the other night.
It was
4-on-4.
Steven Stamp with Pat Gregoire. There's a shot from the outside, goes wide. Benesh can't quite reach it. We are bringing you Canadian Tire Pit Stop Peterborough Major Series Lacrosse playoff action from the Iroquois Lacrosse Arena here on JVI Sports Network. That ball gets away from Weiss and is picked up by Benesh, who ran all the way back down the floor. They've got 6 on the shot clock. Weiss carefully checking him on the back, but not hard enough to draw anything. Then Benesh and Weiss getting after each other. Bear in mind, those 2 are teammates in Buffalo. Fair number of Bandits in the game tonight as well. Of course, you look at the Six Nations bench, and you've got Rich Kilgore as an assistant coach there, head coach here. John Tavares, assistant coach with both. And Chugger Dietrich, Steve Dietrich, is the general manager of both teams, not on the bench. Let's take a look at the graphic of Canadian Tire Pit Stop Peterborough. And, we can't thank them enough. There they are, Canadian Tire Pit Stop, oil, lube, and filter, the oil change experts. They do so much more. Check them out. They came to the rescue basically, and allowed us to do it. There's some issues with bandwidth in the arenas that make it very difficult to do a pay-per-view broadcast for the MSL finals. We will be able to do that for the Man Cup, but they've made this possible, and we thank them so much. And there's a shot by Evans, comes straight back to him. If you would like to keep it going, show more games, get in touch. We would love to have some more sponsors and keep showing you these games. Ward grabs that one. He's waiting to pick it up because there's 40 seconds left. Now he grabs it.
Quite a tricky little stop there from Ward. It looked like it deflected off his stick, and then he had to make a hand save there.
And we're actually down to 3-on-3 now after some more matching penalties. So Weiss and Benesh did head off for their mini conflagration down in the corner. That doesn't make sense. A conflagration is a fire. And Chad Tutton's looking back like, what are you stopping me for? And Mark Ardonio says, your bench called timeout. And Chad Tutton says, okay.
Fair enough.
I can accept that.
Yeah.
So 3-on-3. If you're, let's play a little game. Who do you put out on defense if you're Six Nations?
Your Six Nations, I think you got to go with Brody Merrill. If he's not tired, maybe you go with Dane Smith as well.
I'm going to go with some Dan Coates, Sid Smith, and Brody Merrill because they're on the floor. But I was going to say Dan Coates.
Coates was going to be my third guy.
Yeah.
But you can't. I mean, Sid Smith.
One of the greats.
Yeah. I know. I mean, and he's been doing it for so long. From the junior ranks when he was playing in college. It's just he's an absolute beast.
Well, it's not often a defender's a second overall draft pick in the NLL. And he was a well-worthy second overall pick. Corey Vitarelli is down on the dotted line, about goal line extended, and Jones and Sean Evans, of course, are up high. Jones has the ball, 13 seconds. They're going to wait a little bit. The other righty is Josh Currier, down goal line extended as well. He's open. They're going to go to Vitarelli on the far side. Back to Currier. Quick shot. Ward stops it. That may have been a little bit predictable. The ball movement was okay, but it just seemed like that was what was going to happen.
Yeah, and I think Dylan Ward even knew that it was going to happen because he cheated right over it. There really was no look there at all.
And I mean, that's kind of what you're working for in the 4-on-3, but you have to present other options and force them to honor them. And it almost seemed like the Lakers just kind of went directly into it, didn't fool anybody, which is funny because they're so good and they do it so well.
Absolutely.
And I mean, Vitarelli and Josh Currier are 2 of the best backdoor guys. Dan Lintner may be the best in the game right now.
Sure.
My goodness. Scott Self having a chat with the officials. We're going to go to the intermission. Thank you once again to Canadian Tire Pit Stop Peterborough for making possible this JVI Sports Network presentation of Major Series Lacrosse playoff action. I'm Steven Stamp with Pat Gregoire. We'll be back for the second period. Hello, lacrosse friends. Welcome back. I don't know what that was. So, somebody was talking in the in the headset there. Hello, lacrosse friends. Welcome back to the Iroquois Lacrosse Arena. I'm Steven Samp with Pat Gregoire. You can see the shots on goal pretty close, but Six Nations, I thought, controlled a good chunk. They had more good quality chances, and that's largely why they're ahead 3-1.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're 2 for 2 on the power play as well right now, which is, a big difference maker. And last game, actually, both the teams only combined for come to play a factor, and whoever becomes a winner in this game here.
So the 3 stars tonight. Oh wait, what are we looking at first? Do let us know at JVI Video. We haven't done this for a while. I've forgotten about the 3 stars. Let us know who you think should be the 3 stars of the game. There it is at JVI Video. Tell us your first, second, and third stars, and we'll let you know what we think at the end. We'll certainly take it into consideration.
Absolutely. I could have used your help last time, folks, because for the Cogeco broadcast, I had to pick the 3 stars, and there were so many options. It was just too hard. We went with Jones as the first star, Austin Stotts as second, and Evans as third star.
That's not bad. I might have gone with Stephen Hoare or Scott Self.
Yep.
Actually, because I thought they were both excellent. Canadian Tire Pit Stop, Oil, Lube, and Filter, the oil change experts in Peterborough, made tonight's broadcast possible. Our thanks to them. And I'm sure the nearly 1,000 people watching the game right now. That's right, we have about 1,000 people watching. That's one of our largest audiences ever, and I'm sure they are all appreciative, and we'll all go in for an oil change.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going in. Absolutely. I'm actually due for a change, so I'm going to get in, I think, before the next game.
That's not a bad idea. When I'm up in Peterborough watching the next game, maybe I'll pop in as well.
3-on-3, Evans runs across the top. Katoni is just sending picks like a madman. The pass by Evans, I think it was a pass off the glass intentionally. Maybe it was a shot. Brody Merrill chasing it down. Vince comes out. Merrill is on him. Vince gets away. Shot clock expires, and it'll be Chiefs possession. Merrill wants the ball right now so he can shoot. They're not going to let that happen. You will never see a referee toss the guy the ball so he can shoot an empty net.
Absolutely not.
That is when you feel like you got too much involved in the play. We are now to 4-on-4 for another 8 seconds, and Merrill is coming back out. It seems like he's been on the floor for most of this game. There's a shot by hits Vince, and the thing is, with point shot, it can hit you and just go straight through. He shoots it so hard.
He's got one of the heaviest shots in the game. He had one rip last game where I thought it was going to go through the net. It was so hard.
I think the only guy I've seen shoot harder is Paul Rabel. Adam Jones with the ball up to Corey Vitarelli shoots. Oh, what a save by Ward as Vitarelli got a quick release off. It's a partial backswing. Now Stainhouse trying to get away from Paul Dawson. Sturos with the help, and Josh Courier tries to get open. We're back to 5-on-5. Stainhouse shoots. I'm not sure if he even saw it, but he knew where it was going because he shrugged the shoulder up. That pass doesn't get through. Comes Six Nations the other way. Ethan O'Connor, one of their trade deadline pickups, passes it off now. Banesh back to Randy Stotts. The Stotts brothers playing together for the first time in the playoffs here. That must be fun for them.
Yeah, it's got to be exciting for them.
You've got the Dawson brothers on that team, the Self brothers on the Lakers. You've got the Evans cousins, but Turner is not in the lineup tonight. He's a healthy scratch. So
still a family affair down on the floor here.
Oh, what a shot by Katoni. Spins and fires just past the foot of Ward, just inside the post. And Holden Katoni has always been able to do that. The reason he's able to play right now as a rookie is because he's learned to do whatever else they need him to do on the floor. But he shows that great shot.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And that's the thing. He's definitely, adapted his game because he's mostly, used to being a spot-up shooter, being the go-to guy. But, playing up with this big club, he's really completed his game. You'll see that spin-around shot. Looks like he's spinning around on a pole like he used to do with Johns Hopkins as well. And absolute cannon. It's a beautiful step-back shot there.
Dane Smith with the ball picked up by Robert Hope. Goes over to Banesh, who fires one well wide. Comes straight out to point. That's a pass on the... Oh, what a save by either Vince's arm or the post on Banesh.
Looked like it might have been the post
I thought post by how fast it came out.
Yeah.
They tried to get it to the cutting Merrill, but He just kind of bounces it around a bit, keeps it bouncing, but eventually Robert Hope comes up with it. Points on him. I was talking about Paul Rabel. I remember watching the NLL Champions Cup final and seeing Rabel hit Bob Watson with a shot that knocked him. There's a shot by Stainhouse that knocked him into the net. Oh, a great check to take away the shooting chance for Tutton. Nice job by Paul Dawson, but Rabel's shot hit Bob Watson, blew his glove off, knocked him backwards into the net for a goal. And you can just picture Craig Point doing that.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
Jones trying to get away from Mike McNamara. McNamara D'ing him up nice. There's a moving pick. I was going to say a big pick, and then it was called as a moving pick by Katoni. That's why you got to be a little careful when you're saying that pick. It can be. You could probably hit it, throw a pick that solid, if the guy wasn't sideways to you, because then you're going to knock him over.
Yeah, exactly.
If you straight up on him, you can probably get away with it. Weiss with the R for Ian Lord, who drew an assist on the last one. After the goals and on after penalties, you will hear the announcement. We have a microphone in the penalty box, so that's what you're hearing when you hear the numbers. It's the referees telling the scorers who the goal scorer and the people picking up assists were. There's Smith with one hand over to Benesh. Smith gets it back. Hope out on him. A pick by Stotts, but a nice two-man game there by Lord. And Hope jumps out on Stotts. That is a pretty effective defensive two-man game by Hope and Lord, who may have been the two best defenders on this team this year.
Yeah, no, they both have done a fantastic job. They were lights out once again last game, in game one. It looks like they're picking it up right where they left it off.
Joel Matthews trying to create some spaces. Evans has the ball, comes across to Vitarelli, who gets it to Jones with 8 on the shot clock now. Stainhouse backpedaling. Jones will toe drag across to Vitarelli, and it bounces away from him. They're going to run out of time to get a shot off.
Nice opportunity there. Nice little toe drag from Jones, but Vitarelli can't quite hold on to it. And
Vitarelli getting into it on the way to the bench with Mike McNamara, who's saying it's interference, and Vitarelli saying, I'm just running to my box. Which he really, he was just heading for the door, but it was not coincidental. There's Austin Stotts, gets away from 3 players. The fourth one checks him in the back to the floor, and now there's going to be a penalty called. And I think both refs felt like they missed the first one. I felt like they missed the first one.
Absolutely. Oh,
and now Tutton going after Benesh. Dan Dawson jumps in the way. He is quite a peacemaker. Tutton gives him a push. And now it's Dylan Evans getting into it with Benesh. I'm not sure who they called it on. It might have been Stephen Hoare.
Looks like.
I really did think there was a penalty a bit earlier when they when you go down. Anyone who's not quite familiar with the rules, cross-checking is allowed, but when you're on the floor, you can't cross-check somebody. 3-2.
There it is. Stotts once again acting like a veteran. He gets up, big smile on his face. Most players, most young players especially as well, after taking a beating like that, they might be, wincing, but nope, he's happy. He gets up with a big smile. He goes,
I thought you were going to say they might be saying something, and I guarantee you Austin Stotts was saying something.
Oh, yeah.
Craig Point up top to Benesh. Back to Point. They try and go down low to Austin Stotts, but Lord gets a stick on it. He's tied up in the corner for the shot there. And that one's stopped off the stick of Austin Stotts, who has taken off his knee brace. He was wearing it in the first period. He's worn it all the games I've seen him, but he's taken it off. I don't know if he went to Lord's between periods. And we're going to have a possession call as Mark Stainhouse pulled the stick out of the hands of a defender, Dan Coach, and tossed it away. But then, I thought we had a penalty coming at mid-floor, but Cardoni was just saying start there. So Connor throws it ahead to Dan Dawson. The Chiefs set up on the power play. Dane Smith's at the top this time. Point over at the shooter spot. Dan Dawson still down low. Benesh. Little toe drag, comes back, looking to pass, gets it to Smith. Point across, and Lord blocks that one. There's Benesh getting the shot off. Briar Jonathan gets it. You don't expect him to get a lot of power play time, but he's been stepping up into an offensive role.
Another block by Lord. You mentioned it earlier in this game.
And there's one by Hope. We told you. There's Hope right out on Dane Smith. Then self-helps. Point with the shot, just enough of it by Vince. He's seen that shot from Craig Point in practice plenty.
Oh, yeah.
Smith with a quick release, but that one's blocked by Hope again. And then Lord tries to grab it, loses it to Briar Jonathan. Fresh 30. And Dan Dawson passes to Benesh, who's stopped by Vince. And You can hear Rich Kilgore from here yelling, Dan, shoot! There's the pass over. It gets either tipped or it's just low, but the Chiefs still have 22 seconds on the shot clock as Briar Jonathan gives it to Dane Smith, and those are some tired defenders out there right now and some awfully talented forwards. But a big save by Vince. They say your goalie has to be your best penalty killer, and he has been here. Dawson directing traffic, another fresh 30. Foot save across to Jonathan. He's going to shoot, misses. Yeah, we're back to even strength, and here come the Lakers out of the bench. Here comes Evans. Oh, what a save by Ward. That would have been a momentum swing for the Lakers. Their penalized player jumped to the bench. Sean Evans hopped on the other end, and they had a wide open break. Dawson fakes it, goes to the middle, and has the ball stripped. Scott Self tries to grab it. Sid Smith's up front, playing another offensive shift, and laid a bit of a whack to the leg of a Lakers defender, but Robert Hope comes away. This is game 2 of the series, as we mentioned, and boy, these Peterborough Six Nations series, this is the 3rd championship final in a row, 4th in 5 years between the two teams, and they get intense. This is a rivalry. Jones with the shot, again 5-hole, again Ward stops it. Jones is going to have to go back to the corners, I think. Merrill takes that pass, and Tutton's right on him. Pass to a cutting Austin Stotts, who's gone. That's why he wasn't on the power play. He went to put the knee brace back on. I'm serious. Did you notice?
I did notice that, yeah.
You laughed. I thought you thought I was kidding.
No, it's just funny that that's literally what he did.
Balance, so you give him the what happened. Oh, there. Appreciate this. They really do. Nick Weiss, I don't know if he meant to do that, but it was brilliant. There's a shot by Evans. He basically did like a soccer dummy where he fake swung at the ball. And the hand was kind of halfway.
Fans, please keep in mind.
Calling just a bad decision. And we've been praising Austin Stotts. Down low as Jones goes back to Evans. Billy D. Smith and Coates up top as they take.
A perfect plate shot.
Bounced away from Dan. Tony quickly in, bounces away from him. Self tries a little Paul Gascoigne tip it around to yourself play. I'm all about the football comments tonight. Here we go with Austin Stotts coming around. Dylan Evans tied him up, and fans in the stands here from Six Nations are putting their hands up to signal a penalty. But Gardonio and Williams, the people who count, are not. It was marginal. I thought Dylan Evans had a bit of a clamp on him, but I don't know if I would have made the call. The 30-second shot clock expires. I don't know if you call that in a playoff game. You want to be consistent. I'm
Absolutely.
Not
and I think they have been consistent.
I think so.
They haven't been calling that, so good on them.
Not too much going on. I mean, a lot of incidental penalties or coincidental. There's Vitorelli on his offside, rips it. Bounces wide, did not touch Ward. Only 15 left on the shot clock. Now Stainhouse has it, the last goal scorer. He looked like he was having to think about it. Matthews setting picks. Stainhouse goes to the net, stopped by Ward. Boy, Stainhouse scored one in Oakville in Game 5 where he just went to the net, threw everybody, and trickled it in. And it may or may not have been in. It was actually right behind the net at the time, and it was close. But, boy, he is so dangerous when he goes to the net because he seems to find little holes.
Oh, yeah. That's vintage Stainhouse right there.
Point driving to the net. Jake Withers, nice job turning him aside. Dawson goes to Banesh. Sidearm shot, belly pad. Jake Withers and Zach Currier, all rookies. Zach Currier actually not. Oh, yeah, he is in the lineup, of course, tonight. 3 rookies, and Leo Sturos, a rookie for Six Nations. There's a shot, turned to. Excellent.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Sturos is up for the draft this year, and I think he'll be probably not a first rounder, but I wouldn't say he would be a bad pick in the first round. Definitely a second rounder. No, Shot by Evans, saved by Ward. Go ahead.
I really like his game. No, I think he's going to be a very good pro. At the next level. Oh yeah, no, it is. Consistency is such a big part of his game.
Ethan O'Connor runs it up, pass across, a little behind Merrill, but he gets it and smartly steps aside the Ian Lord check attempt. Dan Dawson up to Randy Stotts. He's stripped. Withers wasn't sure the ball was free, so Stotts beats him to it. Now Stotts coming out to the corner, up to Dan Dawson. Oh, big save by Vince as Dawson almost picked that top corner. Sweeting's already in the NLL for Peterborough. He plays with the Colorado Mammoth, gotten about half their games this year, and had a pretty good rookie season. A little overshadowed by fellow rookie Jordan Gillis. An unbelievable value at the 5th round pick. 4th or 5th. I have to check my stats, but either 4th or 5th round. And he was excellent for Colorado. Sweeting was very good as well. I believe it was Sweeting in the 3rd and Gillis in the 4th. Zach Currier and Jake Withers both going next year. I think Zach Currier could be first overall, and what's a pretty. There's point, checked by Hope. Does enough to get in the way. Dane Smith, toe drag, goes to the net, just misses the top, and he had Vince dropping. Here comes Tutton. He's got Dan Coates on him. Tutton likes to put the shoulder down and barge in. He tries it, loses the ball. It's picked up by Marshall. Tutton still going after it. Just misses. And there's Sturos making a check. Sturos is going to be a nice pickup in the 2nd round for someone. He looked, I thought, a little bit like a deer scrambling around on the ice at the beginning of the season. He was a bit scrambly, a bit chasey, but he's just gotten better and better and better. He was the defender of the year in the OLA Junior League. There's a shot by Smith, stopped by Vince, and he is looking so solid for them as the season goes on. Definitely will be a good pro as well.
Oh, yeah.
When I say at the next level, I mean for these young guys who have come to this level and the NLL. You can have the debate about MSL versus the NLL. I think they're both great leagues. I think they're both great lacrosse.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, just this
Whoa.
series alone.
Chad Culp was just a torpedo there. He was got a little push in the back and decided to use the momentum to basically take a dive block at somebody. David Brock didn't like it. He thought he was going for his knees, I think. But I think Culp was just knocked over from behind and decided to try and throw a pick while he was doing it.
And Chad Culp goes so fast. He plays such a fast game. I bet you he probably really couldn't
Fast and
stop.
gritty.
Yeah.
Austin Stotts with the shot, and Vince stops it. That was a pretty nice release. Stotts can get the ball off with no space, it looks like.
Oh, I know, and he loves that twister shot, and it's not one of those twisters in tight. He'll take an outside shot with a twister, and that really fools a goaltender.
Katoni. Probably have some people watching it in Calgary. Thanks to Guido. I was going to say Guido. Guido is Holden's dad. Came to plenty of Peterborough games when his son was playing junior there. Coates runs across and will hand it off. Of course, Holden Katoni was a ball boy for the Calgary Roughnecks when Tracy Kelusky was an absolute star and captain in Calgary. There's Dawson driving through. Everyone trying to get him. He's knocked away from the ball. Nobody knows where it is but Benesh, but then he loses sight of it. 5-6 on the shot clock. And somehow Dane Smith got the ball and a shot off. Is that a penalty?
Yeah, it looks like there's going to be a hold. Or a
Slash.
slash.
And who's it on? I think it's. We're going to wait and see. Neither of the boxes open. I think it might be on Six Nations because Scott's. It is. Six Nations Ryan Benesh, who
Benesh is going to get the slash.
was kind of banged around in there and retaliated.
I think
it happens.
I think they thought the ball might have been stuck in his jersey or something because everyone was hacking and whacking away. And then when that ball squirted out to Dane Smith, who I have no idea how he even got that shot off with that spin around. And while that was happening, that's where I think Benesh took that slash. And
that's how you score 72 goals in one National Lacrosse League season.
Exactly.
And lead MSL in scoring last year. Of course, Smith missed most of the season with plantar fasciitis, which is why, if you're wondering why he only played a couple regular season games and was able to play the playoffs, it's because he was on the injured reserve. Stainhouse with the shot, scores! 11 seconds into the power play, and the Lakers are up 4-3. That'll make, I suspect, a large part of our 1,000-plus viewing audience pretty happy.
Oh, absolutely, and it almost looked like a very, very similar release
88.
on that last goal there. They didn't take nearly as much time to set up that power play, and you know what? I mean, though how good this penalty kill is, we'll see the shot right here. We might just be able to see right here. Just get that little screen from Evans, a great pick from Evans. Evans, another great player that's so good away from the ball.
Here comes Jeremy Thompson off the faceoff save by Vince, but Rob Marshall gets the ball back right away. Withers on him. Brad Self comes to help. That ball bounced away. Stephen Hoare gets it. It's 4-3 with 4 minutes left here in the second period. The Lakers leading. I'm Stephen Stamp with Pat Gregoire, bringing you JVI Sports Network's presentation of Canadian Tire Pit Stop Peterborough Major Series Lacrosse playoff action. It's kind of a long thing to say. Oh, Stainhouse going for a natural hat trick. Go ahead.
It's a great thing to say,
It
though,
is.
because if we weren't saying it, we wouldn't be saying it because there wouldn't be a broadcast.
Exactly. We'd be sitting there watching the game and not being able to tell you about it. We're so glad you're with us. Thank you once again to Canadian Tire Pit Stop. They probably won't get, I was going to say, they might get tired of hearing us say that. I don't think they will.
No.
But we just can't express enough our appreciation. And again, if you want to help out, make other broadcasts possible, let us know. We'd be happy to talk to you. There's Austin Stotts with the ball. He thought about passing to Paul Dawson, takes a shot. We talked about a quick release earlier. How did that even get out of his stick and onto the net that fast?
Yeah, no looker as well, and that just hit the outside of the net, it looked like.
Yeah, outside of the post, I guess, because it bounced right up over the mesh. Randy Stotts to Dan Dawson, and you do not stop Dan Dawson. I was ready to call scores earlier, and he threw a couple extra fakes, and just that little sidearm off the inside of the post.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Dawson's not going to miss from there.
6-83,
threw a couple
18.
of extra fakes there, but he definitely could have pulled that in. But, hey, just to be sure, and, credit to that first quick. We're going to take a look here, and it's Stotts, a beautiful, beautiful pass. The defenders obviously a miscue there to leave Dawson wide open, and like I said, he's not going to miss from outside in front of the net like that.
Yeah, and interesting, it was Dawson from Stotts and Stotts, and Paul Dawson passed the ball to Austin Stotts. So if there were 3 assists, it would have been Dawson, Stotts, Stotts, and Dawson. That would have been pretty cool. Much like the old Evans from Evans and Evans when Scott, Steven, and Sean Evans were all playing. You can have it again now with Sean and Turner. And Dylan. There's a shot from Vitarelli, stopped by Ward. And Vitarelli knocks Jeremy Thompson out. He knocked him down the other night with a shoulder to the middle of to the sternum, just flattened him. That was a big hit. Dane Smith lobs it over. Briar Jonathan will shoot. Nice arm save by Matt Vince. Briar Jonathan looking a bit more comfortable. I thought he looked like he didn't want to shoot the other night. And then I know they told him, go ahead, when you've got your shot, take it. You're up there for a reason. We trust you. He gets the ball now. Little spin. Good decision not to shoot on that one. Pass across to Dane Smith. He loses the ball. It's picked up. It's trying to go. And Leo Sturos grabs it. Passes it off to the bench, and across comes Randy Stotts to set up. In this series, Sean Evans Jones, some help from Culp. There's the pass over to Evans as they get it away from Marshall. Evans to Culp. Oh my goodness! Off the post and back through the legs of Ward. And here comes Brody Merrill with Jones trying to check him again. And Jones is going to go back and play defense. No, he's going to stay and play defense. So right now only 4 Chiefs on. Here comes Dan Dawson as the 5th. Dane Smith carrying the ball over to Stotts, just misses. Goes straight to his brother Austin. He passes it down to Randy behind the net. Comes out. I thought he stepped on the crease, but he didn't. That shot's blocked anyway. Then Ryan Benesh flattens. It's Adam Jones with a check in the back that should at least have been a moving pick, I would say.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but these officials are putting their whistles away a little bit here. And
26 seconds on the shot clock, 23 on the game clock. So Matt Vince is slowly making his way. It is the long change period, so that 3-second differential is going to be a tricky one. You've got to take the shot, obviously, at the end of the shot clock, but it can leave some time for Six Nations to throw it the other way. 5 seconds to shoot. Ball comes out to Catoni. To Vitarelli across. They can't catch it in the middle, and the ball play is called down with 2 seconds left. The long shot is going to go wide. Just to finish the thought I started earlier, Holden Catoni, a ball boy for the Roughnecks when Tracy Koleski was a star there and a hero, and loved Tracy Koleski. A couple of years ago, Catoni was looking for a place to play outside of Alberta, trying to up his level, the level of his game, which you can now do in Alberta, I think. Oh, yeah. The Mounties have made that clear. At the Minto Cup, amazing performance by them, but he came to Peterborough because Koleski was coaching with the Junior Lakers, played for them for a couple of years, and that allowed the Senior Lakers to protect his rights, and they're pretty happy to have him.
Oh, absolutely. How couldn't you? He's a special player.
The music's coming. We have to take a break. I'm Stephen Stamp with Pat Gregoire, not Pat Catoni, Pat Gregoire, bringing you Canadian Tire Pit Stop Peterborough, Major Series Lacrosse Finals action. Game 2 tied 4-4 after 2 periods. Hello, lacrosse friends. Welcome back to Canadian Tire Pit Stop Peterborough. Major series lacrosse playoff action. There are the stats from the second period. Total shots really in Peterborough's favor, 22-14 in that period. We talked about Six Nations kind of controlling some of the play in the first. It was largely Peterborough in that period. They had a great period. That goal late by Dan Dawson, a huge momentum saver for them to make it 4-4.
Well, absolutely, and big part. I said it last intermission, and I'm going to say it again. Power plays, big this time. Last game, I mean, it wasn't that the power plays weren't playing bad because they were getting their looks. I think it's just the goaltenders were making the stops. But I mean, when you have guys shooting the ball like Mark Stainhouse, he's going to make no mistake. And those two releases were pretty much the same.
Thanks again to Canadian Tire Pit Stop in Peterborough, 1050 Lansdowne Street. The oil change experts, they do tire rotations, they do transmission flushes, they do tire repair. Go in and see them. I am literally due for an oil change, and I'm going in, and Austin Stotts has the ball as we start off the third period. There's Craig Point. No, that's Randy Stotts with the shot. That one's stopped and picked up by Stephen Hoare. Here the Lakers go the other way. A little shout out to the love of my life, Carrie McMaster, who is watching a little watching party, a viewing party with my mother and my sister. Hooked it up to the big screen TV, and they're enjoying it. We got a tweet from Rich Berlusconi, I believe it was, saying, looking great on the Apple TV. There's a shot by Vitarelli. Nice job by Leo Sturos. We were singing his praises early, and he got on hands to limit Vitarelli's shot. This is going to be a great third.
Oh, yeah. It's set up for another instant classic. I mean, we saw it in Game 1. We've seen it in the last two periods, and there's no doubt that this third is going to be great.
We were talking off air about the offensive players are great. The big names, you tend to watch that, but the defenses are so good. I did a preview on ILindoor.com, and Steve Chugger-Dietrich, the GM of Six Nations, there's a shot that misses. The shot clock will just about expire. But he gave me a hard time because I gave Peterborough a bit of an edge in pretty much every category. And he said, offense, Peterborough, defense, Peterborough, transition, Peterborough, coach, Peterborough, GM, Peterborough. I was like, I did not do coaches and GMs. But there's a shot by Jones. But it's so close in all the categories. I think the offense, the big thing is, again, Jamieson and Durston being out, both such critical components.
Oh, absolutely.
So you have to go with Peterborough. And I thought on defense, Peterborough maybe a little more depth. Mm-hmm. That might play as the series goes on, but these teams are so evenly matched.
Oh, yeah.
There's a shot by Stotts. As Rich Kilgore said after Game 1, he was talking to Mike Hazen, the Lakers head coach, before Game 1 and said, hey, we've played 14 games the last 2 years in the playoffs. We're 7-7.
Uh-huh.
And as he said, well, they got Game 15. We'll see what happens on Sunday. Hope with another block, and he will be one big bruise by the end of the playoffs. Unbelievable the way he sacrifices his body, and he's still out there checking. Absolutely fearless. That one goes off of Stephen Hoare and up into the mesh. Hard shot by Stotts. And, with Ryan Benesh and Randy Stotts and Dan Dawson and Craig Point, all of these guys, Austin Stotts is becoming a focal point of this offense in about his 5th game with the team. That shot gets through, and Matt Vince just looked awkward trying to stop it. Dan Dawson's little sidearm shot that didn't even look that dangerous makes it 5-4.
Yeah, no, that definitely, and I mean, you look at Matt Vince down there right now shaking his head.
83-18.
And we'll see the replay here. And Dawson, he does have that different release where it's tough to see where it is coming from. It's that little sidearm shot, but Matt Vince definitely wanting that one back because he's been seeing all those outside stops, all year long, and especially this game here too.
Coates picks up the loose ball off the faceoff. Lord on him, but Coates hanging on. Nice little pick there by Sid Smith, but 3 Lakers now on him. Smith tries to grab it. Weiss gets it. Oh, he is sandwiched by Dan Dawson and Smith. And Dawson flicks it up, gets a bit of a break because it hits the glass on the top of the glass on the penalty box instead of going out. 8 to shoot. So David Brock just lets it fly. David Brock, a guy who we haven't talked about much, but he's one of the staples of that defensive and transition unit.
Oh, absolutely, and he's not afraid to get involved in the offense. He actually had a beautiful goal last game. Yeah, exactly.
That was a beauty where he got Evan Kirk leaning to his left and just drew it back across his body inside the post. A beauty in transition. Evans gets by McNamara, looking to pass. Now he's going to try and get a shot off. He does, stopped by Ward. Courier can't pick up the loose ball, but Evans does. Dawson strips it, but Evans going after it. Mike McNamara will pick it up and move the ball forward. Chiefs lead by 1.
It's a risky play by Paul Dawson there for that home run check because if Evans tucks that in, he's gone.
Yeah. Matt Vince with the loose ball. Out to Scott Self. Didn't have anybody up the floor he liked, so they'll move it slowly. Scott to his brother Brad. Gives it to Joel Matthews, and Brad will head off the floor. So 3 sets of brothers here. Again, one for Peterborough, Scott and Brad Self, both playing defense. The others are, 2 offensive spots, and then the Dawsons who are split. Oh my goodness! Corey Vitarelli behind the back. He's got a dandy, and he makes it count. 5-all.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? What an absolute highlight reel
23, 21,
And we're
25.
going to see it again because it's worth at least a couple of replays here. And it's not just the finish, it's a beautiful feed which is going to be out of the screen here and just a catch, quick release behind the back and so casual about it here. We'll see the pass right here, an absolute dart right on the crease.
That's a great pass by Chad Culp.
Oh
and
my
then
God.
Vitarelli sneaks it through and burns David Brock, who actually, again, had pretty good position.
Yeah, exactly. For him to even hold on to that ball after that catch, because Brock did give him a nice little cross-check there on the crease.
Again, the pass by Culp, he contributes in so many ways. Courier up top, drags it down, but Merrill recovers with it with 11 seconds on the shot clock. Fakes the pass, tries the swim move, it's not there, past Sturos, so the shot from Katoni instead. If anybody out in Calgary is holding Katoni, the shot clock will expire and he bounces one off the post, and I think he's getting a delay of game penalty for it.
Yeah, that's one there where there was definitely enough time. We talked about there's been a couple, at least one for
The
sure
Evans
that
shot
we've seen.
earlier that was marginal.
Yeah, but that one there, you could definitely tell he could have pulled. He knows that he definitely made a mistake there.
And that Six Nations had. Let us know who you think should be the 3 stars of the game at JVI Video. We'll take it into consideration. But that was a turning point in the 4-on-3, 5-on-3 for the Lakers. But that doesn't mean you want to do it. A 28-year-old now and then. I mean, still, and Merrill's going to be the one to come up with it. Brad Self and Nick Weiss up top with Hope, or with Lord and Hope down low. And that one off the post by Dawson. Boy, Lord and Hope are so good down low on that penalty kill. And now Lord will run it, and he's going to go to the net. He is faster than I thought he was. He's had battled some injury issues. He missed all of last summer for the Lakers, and they knew he would when they traded for him. But he is really fast. He is healthy for the first time. I think fully healthy for the first time in a while. And boy, he's having a great year.
Oh, absolutely.
There's a penalty coming now to Six Nations, and the Lakers wanted to kill the final 10 seconds, but the ball gets stripped away. So we'll have 4-on-4 for 11 seconds with the holding call on Leo Sturos. Oh, sorry, it's Ethan O'Connor going. So, like I said, 11 seconds of 4-on-4, and then the Lakers go to the power play. So the tide has turned a little bit.
It has.
You've got to be so careful when there's a penalty in here and the guy is ragging. You get 2 or 3 guys on him. Something can happen because you get so desperate. You can't get the ball away, and you just do a little too much, and you know there's another call coming if things don't go the right way.
Exactly. And I mean, luckily for them, I mean, there's only 11 seconds. The way these power plays have been working tonight, It's so frustrating. You're playing such good defense, and then, like you said, you get that extra.
Strategy, pull the goalie, get the extra player out so you can go have all the time. There's a quick stick by Vitarelli, but Ward was all over that one. Here comes Randy Stotts, and he is turned aside by Stephen Hoare. The Lakers going to try and get the ball back, as Stotts will see what he can kill. Again, if you're used to the NLL and not used to MSL, there is no 30-second clock when you're shorthanded and you're in the offensive zone. You have 10 seconds to get up there. You just have to stay in there. You lose the ball if you go over the restraining line. The high one near center, not the low one. Here comes Evans with the ball. He's got Stainhouse with him. Brody Merrill and Dan Coates watching him. Talk about a pair of stellar defenders. Merrill has set the standard for years as a transition player. There's a shot by Courier. He's flattened by Coates. And Dan Coates is one of the best now. Vitarelli trying to get that loose ball. It's down by the feet of Evans. Everyone fighting for it. Coates might have it. No, it's knocked away. Now Ward jumps on it. And it is Six Nations ball. 3 Lakers pressuring. They've got to be careful. Courier, great job to get to the bench and let Withers come out so he can get on Dawson, and that allows Vince to take away. And gets an meeting point by Vitarelli. The Lakers all over Six Nations on this power play and coming close. Fresh 30 as Katoni picks it up and runs forward. I was going to say, if folks in Calgary want to see Holton play, get in touch and sponsor us at JVI Sports Network so we can keep bringing you these games. It's even strength. And we will show you Lakers Chiefs. There's Dane Smith. Great job by Mark Stainhouse to sprint to the bench and allow Nick Weiss to get out on D. That, you see the defender coming out, but it's the guy, and kudos to Nick Weiss for getting out and playing it well, but boy, it's the guy, Stainhouse in that case, racing to the bench that allowed that to happen. There's a shot that goes wide and up, out of play. Peterborough has it. We do need a sponsor for Thursday. We have of course, tonight, thanks to Canadian Tire Pit Stop Peterborough, sponsored tonight while the game's in Six Nations, largely so that people back in Peterborough, their home market, can watch. So if anyone down here in Six Nations or anywhere else would like yourself and your friends to be able to watch the game, get in touch with us. And happy to talk to you about it. We'd love to have you on board. And I'll tell you, the 1,000+ people who are watching this game are pretty happy about Peterborough Pit Stop, Canadian Tire Pit Stop Peterborough. Ethan O'Connor comes up with the ball off that shot. We're back to even strength, and we're nearing the midway point of the third period, tied 5-5.
It's good ball movement there by Peterborough, but just another big stop.
Stotts looking to go low. Brad Self jumps out on point, who rings that one off the post. Boy, Vitarelli at one end, point at the other teammates in Rochester. No wonder the Nighthawks are so dangerous even when they're shooting outside. That ball. While I think he was still arguing while he picked that ball off.
Yeah. Wow, that is impressive. Talk about hand-eye coordination. What an unbelievable play by Chad Todd.
And then to recover and get the ball. I mean,
yeah.
Mark Stainhouse with it, watched by Billy D. Smith. Oh, that shot by Katoni never got through because Sid Smith, I think it was, got his stick on it. Oh, we lost picture. With the big hit. Dylan Evans follows it up, and Dan Coates, it's like nobody even hit him. He's so steady on his feet. Great balance and strength. Dawson driving. Bryce Sweeting jumps out. There's a shot by Banesh. Near side, he's flattened by Weiss. Sorry, that's Austin Stotts. And he's going to check Weiss in the crease. That'll be a possession call. Lakers go the other way.
Stotts to Stotts there, and I just, if Austin just puts that maybe 2 inches on the other side there. I think that finds the back of the cage.
Evans fakes the pass back to Courier. Now he throws it. Courier pulls it down. Back to Evans. Paul Dawson out on him. A pick from Matthews. He has found the level because that was a good pick. Evans trying to fight through McNamara, his teammate in New England. There's Culp. He'll shoot with about 3 seconds left on the shot clock. Ward stops it. The Chiefs go the other way.
Another good defensive stand by the Chiefs. That way they play, they split the floor in half with a 3 and 2 on the other side, build that wall. It's just so impossible to penetrate on the inside. Peterborough's done it a couple of times, but when you have a goalie like Dylan Ward to stop the inside shots as well, it's tough to beat, and that's why we only have 5-5 on the board right now.
Yeah, Dylan Ward, the young goalie, has established himself as maybe the next great one. Withers going to do a good job checking over in the corner, and Tutton picks it off, or Self picks it off. He's looking for Tutton, but nice job by Sid Smith to pick him up. So the Lakers will slow it down. Stainhouse takes it. A couple of defenders out there on offense, but Brad Self can play in the offensive zone, and so can Chad Tutton. There's a shot by Stainhouse, just getting a foot on it was Ward. It almost looked like his foot came up off the turf as he stepped wide there.
Well, I know. Another great stop. It looks like he's really, really dialed in now.
Austin Stotts steps back. It's going to take a great shot to score at this point, or just kind of one of those, like the Dan Dawson shot. It was a good shot, but it was kind of a little different, a little, excuse me, almost like just in a spot. Lakers want to call because Billy D. Smith's stick got up to the face of Nick Weiss there, but wasn't a lot of contact, I don't think. And there's Culp going after his own rebound. He's flattened by Billy D. Smith, by Dan Coates or Billy D. I think it was Billy D.
Yeah, it might have been a little bit of a sandwich.
And he just didn't have the ball. I'll tell you, if that's a 1/10 of a second later, that's just a great hit.
Oh, I know.
Chad Culp sacrificing his body to go up and get that ball. Corey Vinarelli spins off the check from Brock, a pick from Culp, and then the roll, gets it back. He's going to let it fly. Sub shot, bouncer, stopped by Ward. Coates coming the other way. Boy, Chad Culp signed with New England, and a fan of the Black Wolves tweeted about it at the signing, and this guy said, "I'm not that excited." And I just replied, "You should be." He does things for an offense that make everyone else able to play their role. Absolutely. Here's Ryan Benesh. Big pick in the roll from Briar Jonathan, but a great job to recover by Jake Withers. Again, the face-off specialist, one of the best in this league already as a rookie, and again, showing he can play on the defensive end. Withers, Sweeting, and Courier, we've talked about. All very good young defenders, along with Leo Sturos on the other end. And Von Harris, who actually has generally been a forward, but has played mostly defense or transition for them this year, and he's been excellent. He's another high draft pick this year.
Oh, yeah.
Coming, and he's moved to a transition role, and he's been so good at it, and then he'll go out and score 8 points like he did against Coburg in one game when he gets to play offense.
Yeah, he's one of those players like we talked about, obviously a different situation with
Dawson's going to shoot. Oh, the big save by Vince. Dawson had 3 pump fakes. Looked like Ben Roethlisberger with the pump fakes. Pass up to Mark Stainhouse.
Like I was going to say, these young players, when they come up to this level, they have to learn to adjust their game and find new areas to play, not even just positions, even just change their game up. And there's been a lot of guys that have been able to do it on this floor.
Shot by Vinarelli is wide, and it's picked up by Dylan Evans. Great play to get a reset, but Merrill gets it. A big hit by Culp. Merrill holds on and lobs it ahead to Jeremy Thompson, another addition this year. He actually played about 4 years ago with Six Nations. Didn't have the best season then, but he's really established himself as a player in the game of lacrosse in the last few years. There's Ryan Benesh, watched by Stephen Hoare. He's going to force him low. Shot. It's a reset as it goes off of Vince. I wasn't sure if it hit him into the defender, but obviously off him. Then Hope scoops up that ball. Nice job to pull it out of the feet of Briar Jonathan. 5.5 minutes to go. We're tied 5-5. This is a great game. Remember, tweet us your 3 stars. Boy, we got to start thinking about that, man.
That we do. So many options, though.
Oh, what a save by Dylan Ward, who was one of those options.
Oh, absolutely.
Matt Vince as well. What are the shots on goal? I'm going to take a look. 35 to 29. There's a shot. What a save by Vince.
These goalies are just outdueling themselves.
Holy cow. 35-30 now, the shots on goal.
Unbelievable.
For Peterborough. If you're thinking about candidates, Dane Smith has 2 goals and an assist for the Six Nations Chiefs. 2-2 for Dan Dawson. I think Dawson probably has got to be in there. Austin Stotts has been good. He has 3 assists. On the other side. Oh, Stainhouse. There's a goal by Corey Vitarelli. And the Lakers lead 6-5. That is Vitarelli's second of the game, and they are big ones. Stainhouse with a couple as well.
That's a couple goals now that we've seen from the Lakers where we talked about their defense so strong from the outside and on the inside. This literally comes right from in front of the crease, and that looks like it's the only way you're going to beat Dylan Ward tonight, and that's what they do. They find a little bit of a hole right there, and Vitarelli's right there on the crease, and he usually doesn't make a mistake when he has that much space to work on the crease there.
Yeah, and you just saw in the replay the edge of it, a Chiefs player bending over. I'm not sure if he was picking up a stick or he stumbled, and whether that's Corey Vitarelli does a great job of the old Todd Bertuzzi box out, kind of push off and go the other way. And it creates space, and that's how they got him open. And it's, you know, it's a fine line because you can get called for a moving pick or for a push off, but if you do it right, you get open, and when you finish like he does in front, boy, that's a big one.
Oh, absolutely. I know he plays so well without the ball, and that creates so many opportunities, not just for himself, but also for other players around him as well. Like you said, he's such a, you know, he's one of the better players in the game once he gets on the crease, whether it's a quick stick or, you know, a catch and release shot.
He does so much for you. I mean, loose balls, bangs around, open space for a great shooter, absolute dogged, and his nickname's Dogger, so that's kind of funny. Oh, now, he can do so. I was going to say, I think Matt Vince may have stepped on the crease there. Once he goes out and plays that, he can't go back in the crease with the ball, and it was close. Bryce Sweeting, what a job to get by the check from McNamara and Dane Smith. Boy, that's a young defender who made a great athletic play. And there's the shot by Evans, very similar to his goal the other night, just misses. Culp gets it back. They've got 3 to shoot. Jones will let it rip. He's going to miss by a fair bit. Best shooters in the game, misses by a lot, but he's trying to specifically bounce that off to get a reset and just missed by several feet up out of play. 4 minutes for the Chiefs to try and tie it up, and boy, you do not want to go down 2-0 in this series, although the way these teams play, they can come back.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's been so close. Yeah. There's been lulls where, you know, one team controls the play for a good chunk, and then, you know, the momentum shifts, but for the majority of these first 2 games, it's been so close, and it's just been a little play here and there that has been the difference so far.
We can hear some "Let's Go Lakers" cheers as the fan bus didn't quite fill up, but there are some people who made their way down. And there's a shot by Catoni. He scores the pass from Vitarelli, and Holden Catoni, one of the bigger goals of his young career. That's a couple for him tonight, I believe. Yeah, that's 2. What a game.
I'm sure some NLO coaches and some scouts are watching that and seeing a professional
23,
play
27.
right there from Catoni. You'll see here, pass comes to him, and he just makes that little, before he recognizes that pass is going to come to him, so he back cuts the defender, grabs it.
On a great pick, right?
On a great pick, exactly. And Dylan Ward had no chance on it. He's sprawling, and it's a beautiful finish on top of that as well.
And that's, you know, we talked about Catoni used to be kind of a spot and shoot guy in junior, a great one, but he's had to adapt, and that is just a beautiful pick and roll. And in my mock draft, I had Calgary as hometown. Good would he look back home with the Roughnecks?
Oh, unbelievable. It'd be a great boost for the fan base, and it'd be great for him to, you know, play at home. Obviously, he spends a lot of his time in the summer here in Peterborough, especially, you know, playing junior as well. But it would be such a great spot with him, you know, in the offense with Curtis Dixon as well. I mean, that'd be a pretty big, deadly offensive unit they'd have there.
So last chance to tweet us your 3 stars. We've got some thoughts, but if there's a strong opinion for somebody, they just might sneak in. There's a spin move by Culp. Oh, what a save by Ward, and Culp lands in the crease. That's a huge save.
Ward has been playing out of his mind this entire 2 games so far, but some big-time saves late in games, especially tonight. I mean, another big arm save, and I mentioned it earlier in the broadcast. Huge. He's got those big, long arms. You'll see the save here. I think they were going to call it crease anyways. A nice move.
Yeah, because he's going to step on the line.
Right on the line, but even
still, that's a great save.
It's a beautiful save.
Somebody has tweeted or texted. They like the line.
What do they got left timeout-wise?
The welcome back lacrosse friends. I love it. I just like we're all friends in this game, right?
Absolutely.
So it's like lacrosse friends, come on in.
Absolutely.
And, again, this broadcast is brought to you by Canadian Tire Pit Stop Peterborough. Our thanks to them. The oil change experts who do transmission flushes and tire repairs and tire rotations, and just great folks. They sponsor youth sports, minor lacrosse, just great community partners, and obviously fantastic fans and friends of lacrosse.
Oh, absolutely.
So, here we go, lacrosse friends. 2:22 to go. Chiefs trying to get it in. Ward is on the bench. Dane Smith over to Benesh. He's going to fake and shoot. Weiss stops it with the back of his leg. That is going to sting. He took that right in the calf, and you can see him limping a bit as he runs up the floor, but lacrosse players are tough. He still runs up the floor.
Absolutely. He's the type of player that doesn't give up on a play no matter what the
thrown
situation
away,
is.
so the Chiefs come back the other way. Sorry to cut you off, but things are getting hectic here. 7-5 again. Ward goes to the bench, and Dane Smith will pass it off. He and Austin Stotts playing catch. Now Randy Stotts is thinking about a shot saved by Vince. There's Brad Self picking it up. He's knocked over. Great forecheck pressure by Randy Stotts. Oh, what a play by, is that Brad Self? We got to give credit to the right guy. That's Nick Weiss making that play. And Dan Dawson will go over to him. We've got 1,200 viewers. Thanks so much. I believe that's our biggest viewership ever. The Lakers trying to kill the last 10 of this shot clock and then take their chances. Weiss and Dawson tying up, and Tutton will just rip the length of the floor. Bounces out to Marshall, and Dylan Ward's already on his way to the bench.
Just over a minute left. We'll see if Six Nations can chalk something up here. And
yeah, we've got our 3 stars picked, unless something changes in the last minute here. But we'll get them to our producer and director, our director, Alex Frazzo, when he's ready. And then we will go to the final minute of play. 7-5 Peterborough looking to take that 2-0 lead in the series. Craig Point over to Briar Jonathan. 6 attackers. Austin Stotts behind the back. Briar Jonathan shoots, scores! We said earlier, they told Briar Jonathan, when you've got a shot, take it. He goes high to low, kind of 3/4 to low, rips it underneath a sprawling Matt Vince. And Vince is arguing with Mark Ardonio about something. But it is 7-6, 39 seconds left. It's not over.
71-18.
We talked about how Jonathan has this hard release. He's got, he almost, won the game for them last time, and he might bring them to a tie, and it looks like a perfect placement right off the stick.
I think it hit a bit of stick, hit a bit of leg pad. There wasn't much of a hole. And you know what I liked about that play is that he makes the pass across the top and then just kind of backs away into open space. And when the pass comes, nobody can get there to take the shot away.
We'll see that shot again.
That.
Yeah, exactly. It goes through the smallest. Plays Plinko off the leg, off the stick, and in.
Nicely done. Ward to the bench as the Chiefs win the draw. That's a huge face-off win.
Massive. Absolutely.
28 seconds. Dane Smith passes it up top. Point wants to let it go. Draws it down, shoots. Oh, misses the net. Austin Stotts grabs it, 11 on the shot clock. Randy Stotts shoots, saved by Vince. Hits him in the back. It's on the ground. 12 seconds to play. It's a fresh 30 for whoever gets it. The whistle is blown. It's Six Nations possession. Chris Williams making the call, and Ryan Benesh throws a bit of a punch at Jake Withers. Boy, that.
Wow.
You got to be careful about that.
Oh, absolutely. With this 9.5 seconds left, you have possession. That's where you just got to put your hands away and walk away.
Dan Dawson kind of getting into it a bit with Jake Withers. They were getting into it a bit earlier.
Yeah,
Dawson's
they were.
been pretty feisty. I'll tell you, Dan Dawson looks very thin. He's a tall guy. He looks thin. He is one of the strongest people you will ever meet. He is wiry strong.
Oh, yeah.
He's a firefighter. He's tough as nails. He and Robert Hope. And Robert Hope's a tall guy, and you can see Dawson towering over him as Hope is leaning into him. 7 seconds. Benesh with it. Dane Smith shoots high, gets by. 3 seconds. 2-1. Peterborough leads 2-0. Maybe not quite the instant classic it was Sunday. Great lacrosse game.
Oh, unbelievable. I mean, it's tough to follow up game one, but what a fantastic display of lacrosse we saw. Seeing the two teams chat with each other near center here, but unbelievable game we saw here at the ILA. Both teams playing outstanding, and it starts with the goalies.
Oh, yeah. And just off screen, Matt Vince walks over to the Peterborough contingent of fans, gives them a thumbs up, and there's some jousting and jostling at the end, and it was Dan Dawson, Ryan Benesh, and Dane Smith for Six Nations. You think Sid Smith, Billy D. Smith, some of these guys, and it was the other three getting into it, but it shows you Peterborough effective at getting under their skin.
Yep.
Good, solid defense. Both goalies, both defenses, outstanding. We saw the 23 goals the other night, 13 here, and full value.
Absolutely, and it just showed you how dynamic these teams are. I mean, it was all about the offense last game, especially in that third period. Just so much offense, but we talked about it. These two defenses are so underrated. They're so good, and both goaltenders stood on their heads the entire game. A 7-6 game. It was, not, like you said, not quite an instant classic, but a great game nonetheless.
I'm sorry I'm laughing. My favorite tweet maybe ever, John Grant Jr. has just tweeted an hour ago. I just thought, hey, why is Sean Evans wearing my socks, and why are they on the wrong feet? They have an R and an L on the toe. Hashtag not at all surprised. He will be very pleased. A shout out to John Grant Jr. who's in Denver at Valley Christian High. He was asking about the broadcast because he wanted to make sure he could watch it with his players. He's a coach there, great program, national champions in high school field lacrosse, a great program. And Junior, congrats on these guys getting the win, and we're looking forward to seeing you Thursday. Here's our 3 stars for tonight. Our 3rd star, Matt Vince, was outstanding.
Oh, he was lights out. Honestly, there was maybe one goal that he would want back, but he was unbelievable tonight. Made so many show-stopping saves, and these two goalies really tried to outduel themselves tonight.
Yeah, only about 24, 25 saves, but there are some big ones, especially
saves.
A couple of naked looks. Dylan Ward outdid him. He faced 37 shots, and he was sensational, and he's made so many of them look easy.
Oh, yeah. He's effortless when he makes those saves. He's big.
Yeah, our first star had 2 goals and an assist, and they all came late in the game. They were huge goals. Corey Vitarelli scores 2 to put the Lakers ahead, and then sets up Holden Catoni for the goal that wound up being the winner.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. His goals, it wasn't just the amount of points he got, it was when it was. They were big. And that assist, we talked about how well Catoni set the pick, came off that screen, and had a nice finish, but it was a really nice little heads-up play for Vitarelli to make that pass. And, I mean, we talk about how good this series is going to be. These teams have met each other 3 times in a row now in the finals, and I keep saying this, I don't know how much this series can get even better.
I don't know. Peterborough with the edge, 2-0, and there's no feeling that this one's over.
No, absolutely. And that's the thing.
It's so good and resilient.
This has to be the most confident team that's down 0-2. They're in that room right now saying, there's no problem, guys. We can cut it around.
Pat Gregoire, thank you so much for being here. For Gary Morrison and Matthew Carrick on the cameras, and Alex Frazo, our director, I'm Stephen Stamp. A big thank you to Canadian Tire Pit Stop Peterborough for making it possible. Please do get in touch. We need a sponsor for Thursday night. We want to bring you the game. We're excited to bring you the game. Absolutely. This is what the series is going to be like. Let's keep it happening. Get in touch. I'll talk to you, and we'll sort something out. We'll make you guys heroes for bringing another 1,000+ people. It's going to grow. Some of the best lacrosse in the world. Thanks so much. On behalf of JVI Sports Network, we will hopefully see you on Thursday. Good night.